listening to Sports Talk 916 with Greg Bull and Coach Greg Veroza.
If you'd like to participate in the show, there are a couple of ways to do it. If you want to contact us on Twitter, use the show's Twitter address, which is @SportsTalk916. For Greg B, go to @MrChief916. And for me, Coach Greg, it's @Greg Veroza. And Veroza is VAROZZA. And if you want to chat live with us, the best place to go is go to the Mixler page and hit chat. There you'll see all of us chatting together as the show goes on. What? You want me to start talking? Hello? Once again, you are tuned in to just about the most fantastic hour and a half to 2 hours or hour of your life.
Or 45 minutes, however we decide to do it.
Yeah, really. Hi, my name is Coach Greg Veroza. I'm one of the two-headed monsters that are called the Greg and Greg Show.
Greg and Greg in the evening.
That's right. Over there's my buddy Greg Bull, Mr. Chief. How's it going, buddy?
I am good. Looking forward to another one.
I'm still trying to get back on this Twitter thing and spell Sports Talk 916 right.
It'd be good if you got our name right.
No, I didn't. I got it Spurts Talk.
Spurts Talk? That's right. All right, we actually have a pretty good show tonight. We are going to talk Spurts. We're going to talk a little bit about the Sirens game last night. When I say a little bit, I mean a little bit because we're not gonna dwell. We're gonna talk a little bit about NHL playoffs and the Sharks. We're gonna talk about the Giants, Major League Baseball. We'll kind of just go through the headlines, take a look at them. We'll recap the draft. Couple interesting tidbits from the draft. We'll talk about Balky and his draft, the Raiders draft, top 5. Yeah, pretty much. That's the choke job. Top 5 sports movies.
Yep.
Thanks to Mr. TJ for that suggestion.
One of my movies might actually have the greatest scene in the history of sports movies.
Did you put porn in your list?
No, there's no porn on my list.
Fun fact: when I was like 14, the first porn I ever found, and I found it at my buddy's house. It was naked basketball. It was just like 6 chicks on. It was 6 on 6. I remember it was really weird. I'm like, why is it 6 on 6? They're just running around playing basketball naked. Nothing, no contact, no like traditional porn. It was just naked basketball.
So did you make it through the first quarter?
I think I made it through the whole game. It sucks so bad.
Wow, that must be bad.
Yeah, and then we're going to talk about the Kings, their coaching search. We'll go through headlines and a little bit of afterthought. So last night was the home opener for the Sirens, and I feel bad. I don't.
You know, it quite possibly could have been the worst example of sportsmanship I've ever seen in my life.
Yes, honestly. So they played the Utah Falcons, and the Falcons had, I'd say, close to 40, maybe 50 girls suited up yesterday on the other side of the field. Turns out after the game that was their travel team.
Yeah.
They have enough girls to basically suit 2 full teams. Some of them play only at home. Some of them only play on the road. And they were outmatched. The Sirens have a much higher rookie to veteran ratio than they want to have, and it shows. I mean, they're still learning. They still play hard, but it's a work in progress.
Right.
And opening drive, the Falcons go down, score a touchdown, immediately go for 2, and we're like, what the hell?
Yeah. Well, I thought it was, I could see where maybe they don't have a kicker.
Right. Maybe they don't have a very good kicker, but then they go onside kick, next play, onside kick and recover, catch everyone off guard, go down, score again, go for 2 again, miss it. And then their kicker comes up, and she damn near kicks it to the end zone.
Yeah.
So we're like, oh, shit, they do have a kicker.
Yeah, they had a couple girls that could kick.
And then they just run it up.
It had to have been 35-0, and they were faking an extra point.
They faked an extra point. They faked a punt. I was like, damn it, they're playing Madden.
Yeah. exactly what it was.
They're playing Madden on rookie, where they could just do whatever the hell they wanted.
Yeah.
Third quarter, they're up 58-0.
Yeah.
And finally, they announce they're going to do a running clock in the fourth quarter. Then they bring in their second string defense and their backup quarterback for a drive.
Maybe a series and a half.
And then they bring their starters back in again.
Yeah.
And I'm just watching this, and I feel bad, man. I'm like, this is just the biggest, just rubbing it in, and like, I don't know. I felt bad. We're talking about punters.
A fucking punter.
Best punt I've ever seen in my life. The Sirens punter, Erica Clark, and I feel bad that I even mentioned her name. She punts the ball, and they got decent pressure on her, so she rushed it.
Yeah.
It went straight up.
Literally straight up.
It landed next to her.
It could have landed on her head.
She probably could have caught it and kicked it again.
Yeah.
And the ball bounced and hit one of the Falcons players, and the ball sits on the ground. And I'm watching Greg, because I'm sitting there, I'm like, this is Greg's quarter to call the game. Like, we switched off on quarters. And I'm like, pick up the ball. Pick up the ball. And I look at you, and you're like, pick up the ball. And then at first, they're like, the girl next to us in the scoreboard was like, why? I'm like, it hit a Falcon. It's a live ball.
Yeah. Greg,
no joke, almost unmuted his mic.
I came this close to turning on the mic and just shouting, pick up the damn ball.
And remember, our mics are looped to the entire stadium at Sac City. So if our mics come on, everyone within like a 3-block radius of Sac City hears what we're saying. And I could have sworn Greg was going to just start screaming at the field.
So close. I was so close. That was... But, they ended up... I think one of the Sirens picked the ball up, and they ended up giving it to the other team. I think it has to go past the line of scrimmage before it's... it can be turned over like
Well, no, it was fourth down, and they picked it up, and they only got a yard or two, so they didn't get the first down anyways. But, the Sirens, they do have some promise. They're playing against a team that, on average, last year, won every single game by 45 points or more.
And they did the same thing to them back in Utah in the playoffs.
And so, for a team of rookies, they still played hard. They still laid some hits on there that got me worried, because I'm going to go down eventually to a practice.
He was trying to say, you were trying to say, wow, you guys talked me into doing what?
You did talk me into it.
I did. No, they did. You were saying that they did.
I'm telling you right now, if I go to practice and Ashley Atkinson, their free safety, lines up across from me, I'm just going to take my helmet off and just leave the field. She was laying some fucking meat, dude. I was like, damn.
She was.
Overall, I think the team will get better. It's still fun to go out. The kids had a blast.
Oh, yeah.
We had a blast, as always.
The face paints on your daughters were pretty cute,
badass,
too.
yeah. So we're going to... It sounds like a T-ball game. Yeah, Jason, it almost was. But, obviously we have 4 more home games. Next one's May 21st. It is a good time. You could get beer for $6. That right there alone is a value. And it was, it wasn't piss water either. I believe it was decent beer. So
I felt really sorry for the scoreboard operator and the grounds crew. So we're the whole beginning of the game, they're running the scoreboard, they're running the clock, and she's testing stuff, and she's like, I am so happy that this thing is working well. And that was probably the dumbest thing she could have said.
Because then the other girl shows up, goes in the room, moves the computer monitor, and it was like, boom, scoreboard done.
Yep, dead.
Call Sportstronics and get their tech support on a Saturday night. Good luck with that. Finally got it up and running. And I think that's where our hiccup came in when we had trouble getting in our groove.
Yeah.
We didn't have a clock. We didn't have down and distance. We didn't have anything. It was just wing it.
Well, with all due respect to the girl running the scoreboard, she's pretty good, but she was really flustered. And
yeah, so it was rough. But it was a rough night for them. Hopefully, like I said, they'll bounce back.
And we had, I think our score was probably about, I don't think we were 78-0 as far as how we did. I think we were about 45-0.
Yeah, we did good.
We did all right.
We tried to get the fans going. That didn't work.
Except for that one dude.
Oh, that one guy who's been a season ticket holder for 15 years. So props to him.
Yeah.
He supports them. He probably pays their salary in beer. That dude was hammered.
He was.
But it is what it is. So
Yeah.
it was a good time, though. And, we'll continue to have fun out there. I do encourage people to come out.
Oh, please do. Make sure you come by stick your head up by the the press box and say hi to us.
And then also too, it looks like at the next home game, my daughter may have a chance to be the water girl.
Sweet.
So that'll be kind of cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was a Sirens recap. So, like I said, hopefully we have better news to report on, in the coming weeks.
And we're both pretty disappointed. I know that I've been working on my touchdown call for about a week.
Yeah.
I'm sure you have too, driving along, trying to play around with it.
Yeah, pretty
We didn't
much.
get to use it.
Nada.
We got to use our first down call about 3 times though. So.
3 or 4, yeah.
Yeah.
It was pretty good.
Yeah. Looked like the 49ers are going to look this year.
I called out Falcons fans if they needed a pedicure. That was interesting.
And there was one muff.
yeah, that was the hit. That was the hit of the press or of the PA box. It was the muff. Veroza called a muff punt over the PA. Number so and so of. Let's just say
she muffed the punt. That's what you say.
Let's say it was Renica Icy because that girl's name was hella hard to pronounce.
Yeah.
Muffed the punt, and then the girl next to us just starts chuckling.
And as soon as it came out of my mouth, I went, "Oh shit! What did I just say?"
Barn bomb. You don't need to do that. Anyways, let's move on to the Stanley Cup playoffs. So,
what did he tell me not to use the word muff?
No, barn bomb. Let's do a hit from Crandall's Cleaning Service and Keller Williams.
Mike, you're on my shit list right now. I'm mad at you.
Courier, are you guys allowed to drink in the booth?
We could
probably get away with it.
Yeah, but yeah.
But
I'm pissed at Barn Bomb right now. He might be on double secret probation.
Go for it. Mike's yours.
He might be I think Mike's on double secret probation. He did an interview. Did he check it with you?
I wanted to ask about that. Did he mention Sports Talk 916 at all?
I don't know. I didn't see the interview, but I saw that he did one.
Keith Joganatis is in the room. Keith, can you confirm if there was any mention of producer Mike on our show?
And I don't know that I gave producer Mike or you gave producer Mike the permission to do.
Keith says he plugged us.
Did he?
So we'll take it back.
Okay, Mike. Sorry,
I need a rewind sound. We're good. Keith actually talked to me about it today. He wants to get us in and do a Sports Talk interview as well as get a little panel going before the NBA Finals start.
Oh, cool.
Hopefully with TJ and a few other folks, to get that going. And Keith says he specifically asked him a question about us and plugged us.
Nice.
And
right.
I got a hello on Snapchat. So that was interesting. I don't even think Mike knows what Snapchat is. He's like, "Hi, Greg." And Keith is in the background just fucking cracking up. It was great. NHL playoffs. So last time we talked, the Sharks had won against the LA Kings.
Yep.
And we were waiting for the Predators and Anaheim Ducks.
I pretty much thought it was the Anaheim Ducks.
Yeah, and I'm looking at the chat box from last week, and TJ said it's going to be Ducks in 3 against the Sharks. Fortunately, I don't know if I have. There I do. The Predators pulled it out in overtime.
Yep.
Made it on to face the Sharks. Game 2 just concluded, and the Sharks have a 2-0 lead.
Yeah.
They're playing really good hockey right now. They will go on to face the winner of the Dallas Stars and St. Louis.
No way. If they win this series.
Right. But if they do, they'll go on to face the Stars or the Blues for a chance to play for the Stanley Cup Finals. And on the other side of I don't even want to call it the East-West because it's so fucking screwed up in hockey, but it's the New York Rangers. I'm kidding. New York Islanders versus the Tampa Bay Lightning. Series is tied 1-1, and the odds-on favorite, the Washington Capitals, are against the Pittsburgh Penguins.
If you're a hockey fan at all, that Pittsburgh-Washington series is going to be a fun one to watch. They don't like each other. And there were some pretty nasty hits last night. And so I think if you like hockey fights and you like exciting hockey and lots of overtime, they're evenly matched, and there's going to be some big hits.
Stanley Cup playoffs are amazing. They're so much fun. I don't watch hockey. Oh, you know what? I didn't get to give you I don't think I mentioned this last week.
You did just for a second. We were going to talk. I was going to bring it up later on.
So I watched the clinching game of the Sharks and Kings. I watched the third period, and we've talked about it on our show. Things that need to go in sports is one of our top 5 lists. And Greg said music during basketball games needs to go.
Kills
He
me.
wants to hear the ball bounce. He wants
Yep.
to hear the sneaker squeak. Watch a hockey game on TV. And Greg, this totally changed my view on this. Hockey, you hear the ice scratching,
Yep.
you hear the blades cutting through the ice, you hear the sticks clacking on the ground, you hear the boards rattle, you hear them changing lines, calling line calls, the goalie clicking on the poles. Like, you hear everything,
It's
and it is
awesome.
magical.
It is. That's what sports is all about. That's a big part of it. I mean, it's the whole atmosphere of the game. And when you go to a basketball game, and it started with the Knicks, I think, because they were the first ones that I remember doing it. It's every freaking possession on offense. It's some chopped up hip hop song. And I like hip hop music as much as anybody, but it's all music. And then you go back down on defense, and it's that same boom, 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 boom. And it's all just designed. It's for that fan that doesn't know what the hell's going on and needs to be told when to cheer.
Exactly.
And, I just wish for once that they would play a game where they wouldn't do any of that. And you can hear the sneakers, and you can hear the bouncing of the ball. And it's a little bit far away to hear them talking, but, you still could hear them yelling, that they want the ball or something like that. Or you could hear the coach, if he had a voice that could yell, you could hear him yell and call out plays.
Sidebar question for you.
Oh.
May 21st Sirens game.
Yeah.
Should I go online and find some stadium pump-up noises and bring the iPad and hook it up to the PA and do like a defense cadence and do a, dun, 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 like, get people trying to get going? I mean, even if it is 80 people, like, get them trying to get into the game.
Might not be a bad idea.
Have like a siren sound effect when they come onto the field.
Might not be. We just have to make sure that when they're calling their, when they're making their calls and calling out the signals, that we don't have that going.
Right.
Just in between. Yeah, but that's fine. And I don't mind that. I mean, I don't mind it during timeouts of basketball games, and I don't mind it. But God, just give me a basketball game. I don't need the total entertainment experience.
Keep joking on. My favorite is when you hear the ball hit the rim on a miss. Awesome feeling. Yeah, we're Kings fans. We know all about that. Clang. And just imagine. Okay. Fast forward yourself to Golden One Center in 5 months. It's opening night. Crowd's going crazy. Kings are coming down the court. Game's almost over. We're down 1. They do a 1-4 flat for Rudy Gay on the baseline.
I know that's wrong because he's not going to be around.
Insert coach here. And DeMarcus goes for a rebound. And he thinks he gets fouled. You'll be able to hear the wind come out of his sails and just his mental clock just explode all over the ref. It'll be amazing to hear the shit that comes out of DeMarcus's mouth every play of the game. I mean, how magical would that be?
I thought you were going to go positive and say he gets the rebound and throws it down with the monster slam, and you hear him screaming and yelling as he throws it down.
Well, I'm sure that's going to happen when he's suited up with the the Wizards or someone. He's going to come back to Golden One and just destroy us.
Exactly.
But, for me, it's when an Oiler takes a shot and it hits the bottom of the hockey post. Yeah, TJ, it's the same thing as being a Kings fan, man. Or, imagine this. You're at a football game and you're the game, everyone's warming up and there's no music and you just hear psst, and it's Tom Brady in the bathroom deflating all the footballs, getting ready for Game 5 of next season's NFL season.
You so have the ability of taking things so far that it just loses all credibility. We started with.
We have 2 Patriot fans in the room. I have to kind of do something.
Well, no. You know what you hear? You hear this. Because Tom Brady's going to be suspended for the first 4 games.
Or you just hear chuckling as he walks to the bank with his signing bonus.
Yeah, that's true.
Actually, in all fairness, that suspension's bullshit. We'll get to that at another time.
So anyway, yeah, I appreciate you saying that. I'm glad that you've come over to my side of things on that. And maybe, when you're traipsing around Golden One Center, Are you
going to give me tickets?
Well, no, I'm sure you'll be able to get tickets on your own because, after all, you're Greg Bull.
Yeah, about that.
And maybe one of those one-on-ones you have with Chris Granger, you could just say, hey, look, Chris, come on, just once. Let's cut the music.
Dude,
Let's make you quiet.
I am down for that. I really wish I would have had that thought process when I was on Fan Advisory, because I think I would have really suggested that. Is it time for the Giants to panic? We talked about it last week. Things have kind of hit in a little bit of a slide. We'll talk about that when we come back.
Hey, man, what's up with the studio? It looks so much cleaner than the last time. I know I haven't been here in a week or so, but what the hell happened?
You know, I just got tired of cleaning it myself, so I finally gave Crandall's Cleaning Service a call. They came out. Looks like this.
Damn, they did a good job.
Yeah, I mean, they're amazing. Fully licensed staff came out, gave me a quick estimate, knocked it out in a couple hours, and they're going to come back on a monthly service.
What, are they going to do the rest of the house, or do that couple hours just cover the office?
A couple hours cover the office. That's all I had them quote for. But they do whole houses. They do offices. They do home stagings. They do everything.
Cool.
Yeah, so, I mean, if you want your house clean, give them a call, 916-952-3620. Ask for Nick. Let them know Sports Talk 916 sent you. Like I said, they'll come out. They'll give you a special quote. They'll do monthly, bi-weekly, weekly, whatever it is you need for all your cleaning needs. They're fully licensed and insured. They'll take care of you the right way.
Sweet. I'm calling tomorrow.
Awesome. Remember, that's Crandall's Cleaning Service, 916-952-3620. That commercial makes me always have to pee. Which one is that? Crandall's. What's up, everybody? Greg Bull here. As you know, I've been trying to lose some weight lately, stay in the gym, get an active lifestyle, and do my best in all of our obstacle course races that I encounter. And I wanted to give you guys a little bit of a secret behind my progression, and that is the equipment that I wear. Whether it be forearm sleeves, shirts, tanks, gloves, whatever the case may be, I go to one company and one company only. That's the Original Warrior Pack. They have all of the essentials for anyone who's looking to run an obstacle course race or who just wants to go to the gym and have a little bit of a boost. Whether you're the novice or the expert, they have something for you. From gloves, arm pads, knee pads, shirts, socks. And even for the brand new racer, they have a essential startup kit that includes fuel foods and socks and gloves and everything you'll need to make sure that you are ready to encounter what's coming up next. That company, as I mentioned, is theoriginalwarriorpack.com. That's P-A-K. Kelly and Tracy are based right here out of Northern California, and their company is awesome. They're your one-stop shop for all OCR needs. So go ahead, check them out, www.theoriginalwarriorpack, again, that's with the K.com, or go right to our website, www.sportstalk916.com. Click on our sponsors page. You'll see their bright green logo. Click on it, and you're one more step closer to achieving that ultimate finish.
This is Andrew Susak of your Sacramento River Cats, and this is Sports Talk 916.
Thank you very much, Mr. Andrew Susak. Let's talk a little baseball. So we talked about the Giants last week and how we were a little bit worried about the slide and their pitching in particular. And you know, we both agreed, you know, let's be a little bit more patient. Things got a little worse for Ware when it came to the fourth and fifth starting pitcher. They went to New York. They had a 3-game series against New York. In game one, Peavy and McDonald combined to allow 12 runs in the third inning. And then Kane got roughed up the next night a couple more times. Ended up almost coming back from that game. But they lost 2. The Mets ended up winning 8 in a row. The Giants' batting, their fielding, even their backups are doing really well when it comes to that. How do you feel right now as a Giants fan? We're, I don't know, a handful of games in. We're not even a third of the way through the
25
season.
Games
25 games into the season. How do you feel right now? How long, 26 games in, we're 13-13, tied with the Dodgers for first place. How do you feel right now as a Giants fan with the pitching staff? Do you think it's time? Do you think it's time to consider already looking into making a move? I mean, they already sent Chris Heston back down to Sacramento. They moved him from a reliever to a starter down there to get his confidence. All likelihood, if he does come back up, he's going to come back up in the long relief spot. But
see, I wouldn't mind seeing him come back as a starter.
I wouldn't either. But the talks, I was listening to Marty Laurie the other day and a few other people they're talking about. They said all likelihood is that you're going to see him back into the long reliever just to kind of get some major league at bats under his belt again, or batters under his belt. But at what point do you have to start looking maybe down in Sacramento and look at the starting pitching staff they have down there? And man,
I think you're going to have to start looking soon because luckily nobody in the National League West is above 500 right now.
Right. Jason Courier says PV was a mistake, past his prime. I think I agree with that.
I agree with that too.
TJ says considering the whole NL West is the dumpster fire right now, I feel better than we did last week.
Absolutely.
There's always room for improvement.
And I think, I'm just not seeing it from Kane. I just don't. I'm not seeing that at all. I'm not seeing it from PV. The other three starters, they're fine. I would like to see Heston back in the rotation. I think it's time to cut ties with PV. I just don't think I don't think he's going to get it back. I think Kane has a shot, but I'm not feeling it from him. It doesn't look like he has that pop on his fastball anymore. Everything's just getting thrown up there as a big lollipop, and he's getting creamed.
So down in the minors right now, they have Clayton Blackburn, they have Ty Block, they have Chris Heston. I believe Matt Lujan is one of their other starters, the lefty. Chris Stratton's down there.
I don't understand what the reluctance to bring Heston back as a starter. I mean, the dude pitched as a starter the whole season last year, had a pretty good year, threw a no-hitter, so that can't be that bad. And I don't understand why they feel like they need to bring him back and work him into the major league hitters. I mean, he's proven that he can get guys out. He's proven that he's a good 500. That's all you need with your fifth starter. I just want him to pitch at 500. At the end of the year, I want him to be 11-11 with a 3.8 or 4.1, 4.2 ERA. Get thrown 7 innings on a consistent basis.
So TJ says, at what point does Chris Stratton come back up from Sacramento? Stratton got optioned down in March, right before the game against the Giants. He's 3-2 with a 7.57 ERA. He has 1 complete game. He's pitched 27 innings. He's given up 37 hits.
And it's hard to. I mean, there's a lot of hitter-friendly ballparks in the
without a doubt.
So you can't really go by what his stats are saying.
I mean, yeah, his ERA is high, but in comparison, you go down and you look at
what's Kane's ERA.
Look at Kane and PV right now. I mean, hold on, I'm pulling that up now, but so 7.57 ERA right now for Stratton, and he's 3-2 in the minors right now, and he has good stuff. He has the only complete game for the River Cats this year. PV right now, that's batting. I don't want batting. I want pitching. Get to pitching. Let's see. Jake Peavy right now is sitting at an 8.61, and Kane's at a 7. I think Kane's 0-3. Peavy's 1-2.
Yeah, I don't. I think you need to see what they do on the rest of the road trip. Maybe the first couple of starts or the first start when they come back, and if they're still being gas cans, you gotta think about making a move.
Well, and that's the problem with Peavy. They talked about, once he gets to home cooking, he's going to be a lot better. He'll be comfortable, this, that, or whatever. I think Peavy's done. I mean, I don't know if the Giants banned Icy Hot. I don't know what the situation is down there, but even watching him, that fire isn't there. He's not as fired up. He's not as into it. It almost seems like he's convinced that he's done.
Yeah.
I mean, we're early in the year. We're 26 games in. Why not send PV down to the minors? Let him get some starts and some guys just to kind of get that fire burning again. He didn't have or even Kane, get that arm up to strength, because Kane right now through 5 innings a game is Matt Kane that we love.
Yeah.
He's amazing. He's at like 92 on the fastball. He's striking guys out. He's putting the ball where he needs to put it.
He just once the 6th inning rolls around, it's like a different guy.
Inning 6, I'm pitching in a Matt Kane jersey. He has no control. He has no velocity. Everything's predictable. And you can't get 5 innings out of your fifth start. You need at least 6 to 7 innings on a consistent basis. I don't need it every game, but you got to have more than 5 innings of stuff.
Yeah. And the other part of that has me more concerned about Kane and Peavy is their bullpen. And their bullpen is a mess right now. They're relying on about 3 rookies that Osich isn't thrown too bad. Who's a kid that came in today? Pitched the
Was it
8th and
Guerin?
9th. Yeah, Guerin. Guerin's looking really good, but the rest of their bullpen is either hurt or again not consistent. And I haven't seen Romo throw.
Romo's hurt. Romo's been on the DL.
Is he still on the DL?
Romo's on the DL. Contos is on the DL. I really like Derek Law. I think he's going to be a good one. I like Osich. Strickland. He's still up and down. Javier Lopez, the older he gets, I think the more and more he's going to become just a lefty guy. Like, I know he can still get righties out, but you don't really see him get an opportunity.
I see him being a one-hitter pitcher.
I mean, you have Heston, who got sent down. He's at a 10 ERA right now, 10.8. And then Broadway, they sent down. He was part of the problem with Peavy against the Mets. He's at an 11.81 right now. It's unbelievable how...
Yeah.
But you look at hitting... It's ridiculous, man. You look at the hitting aspect of the Giants right now.
Well, they went through a little bit of a slump, and they're a little banged up right now. I know Panic missed today.
Right. Pagan's still over 300.
Pagan might be hurt. He came out with a tweaked hamstring today. They said 2 to 3 days, but I've heard that before.
That lasted a long time.
Yeah.
For him last time. But, I mean, you look at Crawford. He's batting 244 right now. You look at Span batting 245. Duffy 263, Posey and Beller in the 280s.
They're coming up though. They're coming up. They were in the 220s a couple of weeks ago. So,
but as far as like the long ball, we saw so many home runs in the spring training and in the beginning of the year. Pagan has 2. Jason, sorry about that. Pence has 5. Posey 4.
But this isn't. They're not a home running. They're not a home run hitting team. That's not what they are. Especially at Pac Bell. They are
Where's that?
AT&T, whatever the fuck it's called. That park is designed for the people that they are, and that's doubles and triples and hitting into gaps. What?
Jason says Pablo Sandoval's available.
Oh, sure.
Sadly, it's
so
true.
am I. And we have the same build.
Size. Yeah. You might be faster than him even with your boot, though.
I know. I just completely lost my train of thought. Thanks a lot there.
Available to eat.
Yeah.
Pablo Sandoval's 798 pounds. So you're a little bit lean.
Thanks.
Compared to him.
Yeah.
Let's see. The A's are also 13-13 right now. They were playing great baseball. They hit kind of a slump. They ran into the Astros. The Astros always seem to give the A's trouble for some reason.
They do. Well, I was listening to the beginning of the A's broadcast today. I don't know why. Are you all right?
I'm just yawning like crazy right now. It's like the heater turned off. It's starting getting warm. TJ says you were listening and they were in front of 89 people today.
I guess last year they only won 4 or 5 games in April, so they're doing much better this year. Nobody expects anything from the A's. No. So anything that they get is a plus, and we'll see what happens. I mean, I can see them being right at 500 all year and being fine, being happy with that.
Yeah, until they blow everything up. I mean, but if you look at it, I mean, right now Boston's leading the AL East. They're 15-10. The White Sox are 18-8. Texas is 14-11. The AL West is not good. 14-11 is in first place. 13-11 is in second. Then the A's are 13-13 in third. Washington's lighting it up. The Cubs are 17-6.
How about those Phillies?
Phillies are 15-10. They're looking good.
Yeah.
But then you get to the NL West, 13-13, 13-13, 12-12, 12-15 Arizona, 9-16 San Diego. So the West is going to be one of those just crapshoots. It's going to be, okay, well, who wants it bad enough?
The only thing that scares me with the Giants in the National League West is if the Dodgers get hot and go on a long streak. Because right now the Giants aren't going to go on a long streak. Not with their pitching as bad as it is.
Not at all. Barnbaum, I expect a lot from the A's. I expect a bunch from the A's. They just took 2 or 3 from Houston. I'm a huge A's fan.
No shit. Now you got me yawning.
That's my bad.
Hi, this is Mike Barnbaum.
That is Mike Barnbaum. Let's see here. How did your team do in the NFL draft? We're going to talk about that when we come back.
If you or anyone you know is thinking about buying, selling, or investing in real estate, they deserve to have someone working with them that not only knows what they're doing, but will explain everything that happens along the way. That person would be me, Coach Greg Veroza of Keller Williams Realty. I have two goals. My first goal is to coach you through the buying and selling process, making it easy to understand and as stress-free as possible, which isn't easy sometimes. My second goal is to have fun doing it. Come be a part of my team. Let me coach you or anyone you know through the real estate process. Give me a call at 916-241-8068, and let's talk about how I can coach you through the real estate process. Let me ask you one question. Who do you know that's looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate that I should know right now? Again, that's Greg Veroza, Keller Williams Realty, 916-241-8068.
What's up, everybody? We are Corner Pub Sports every week talking sports, beer, and beyond. You can find us live 8 to 10 p.m. Eastern Time on wildfireradio.com or stream us on cornerpubsports.com. You can follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at Corner Pub Sports.
We look forward to seeing you at the pub every Friday night.
Cheers, cheers, guys.
So fun fact about that, Wildfire Radio is actually looking to expand their operations out west, and Corner Pub dropped our name, so we were in talks with Wildfire to see about getting on their network. So stay tuned for that.
Yeah.
Not really sure how far along into that process we are, but that would be pretty cool to, to do that.
Yeah. Be kind of cool. Wouldn't mean much different. Except we'd have to be a little bit more disciplined.
The fuck is that? Oh, there's an ad playing on the... It's that fucking Peyton Manning commercial that made me cry with all of his, farewell letters. Yeah. Speaking of which, did you see the new Nationwide commercial? It's fucking awesome. So it's Peyton Manning standing the wrong way. They're just videotaping his back. And he's standing there and they're talking about how he retired and all this greatness. And he's like, I feel like I'm standing wrong or something like that. Or he does his little jingle bass and said, I feel like I'm looking the wrong way. And they're like, no, it's right. He's like, oh, you're going for that dramatic effect. And he stands there for a second and he kind of looks back and goes, I want to turn around. It's awesome.
I haven't seen that one yet.
It's fantastic, man. I love anything with Peyton Manning when it comes to commercials. They are fucking hilarious.
Yeah, does that guy not have the rest of his life just completely made?
Oh, dude, he's going to be golden.
Oh, I know. I mean, he could go, I think I want to do Monday Night Football.
I want to turn around. All right, NFL draft. So, winners and losers. Big winners of the NFL draft is Jacksonville Jaguars. The Jags managed to snag a defensive back in Jalen Ramsey, who is one of the draft's best defensive players at number 5. And then, talk about poor timing. So, Miles Jack, UCLA, he had a knee injury. And there was talks leading up to the draft all week. Is he going to need microfracture surgery? And a lot of teams were like, not going to touch him. Round 1 and 2 concludes. And then all of a sudden, reports comes out, Miles Jack doesn't need microfracture surgery. The night of. You have that news. Why are you not announcing that, right? Guy goes from probably top 10 easy to second round, Jack snag him.
Yep.
Amazing player. If he's healthy, that defensive core next to Polinsky, I believe the guy they have, is going to be amazing.
Yeah.
Then they go ahead and they get, a couple more just fill-in pieces. Great draft by the Jaguars. Even with those two guys, Jalen Ramsey out of Florida State and Miles Jack, their defense just got
absolutely
tenfold better. Then the other team that really surprised me was the Minnesota Vikings. So the Vikings, they moved back a couple times. They took Mississippi's wide receiver Treadwell.
And I like that pick, too, by the way.
Yeah, to go along with Stephon Diggs. Then they go ahead and get a cornerback out of Clemson.
Did you see there was a story on him on SportsCenter this morning? He's from Trinidad. Or no, he's from Haiti.
Okay.
And he spent his entire life picking apples or something. And his parents, 2 weeks before the draft, he was out picking apples with his family. And that's how they made their living. And he just basically worked his ass off. They said they interviewed the Clemson coaches and said that he is just a workout machine.
Yep. And then you go along, they go ahead and they get that wide receiver from Germany, Moritz Boehringer.
I like that.
Big ass dude, first ever European player drafted without playing in college.
It was the way I heard it worded. The first person drafted by the NFL who has never played a football game on U.S. soil.
Yes. So here's the thing, though. Jason says that's Goodell's way of leveling the playing field. And then this is awesome. He says his phone autocorrected Goodell to Fidel. I'm like, that's accurate.
Yeah.
So here's the thing, though. So the Vikings, what team was it? Damn it, I just drew a blank. TJ, who do they trade with to move up and get Moritz? The Dolphins. Okay, so, and I got it before TJ said, huh. So basically, the Dolphins, they wanted to move up in, I believe it was the 4th round, right? And they traded a bevy of picks to Minnesota so they can move up, which slid them back to the 7th round. Like 182nd pick or something crazy. Well, the 182nd pick went to...
Carl had some candid words for the Sacramento Kings on Saturday.
Thanks, USA Today. Traded the 182nd pick. They got it from the Dolphins, right? Oh, sorry, I'm looking at the other way around. It was the Dolphins who made a trade. They traded up to get they gave up the 182nd pick, and then later in the thing, they wanted to make a trade with another team to move up again. And they ended up trading with Minnesota again for the 182nd pick. So the Vikings somehow tricked the Dolphins into giving them a pick and then gave it back to them for 2 more picks.
That's good.
I was like, man, that's fantastic.
See, I love that kind of stuff about the draft. That really...
Let's see. The Broncos got Paxton Lynch with... I let out an audible fuck, and I was like, oh shit. I was at Texas Roadhouse eating dinner. And people were like... And I was like pointing at... We weren't even by a TV. The TV's on the bar wall. I was on the back wall across the entire restaurant. And I'm like looking through people. I'm like bent over, like hunched over. And I'm like, fuck. And everyone's like... I'm like, sorry, the draft's on way over there on this little tiny TV. So they took Lynch. I was really hoping the Niners would have went. We're getting to that, TJ. And then they take Devontae Booker out of sack. He played for Grant, who I thought the Niners could have taken at 133 or 142. Didn't happen, obviously. Let's see, the Dolphins, I said about that. And then let's slide down to the teams that didn't do so well.
Yeah, one team that did do pretty good is, and I hate, this makes me just cringe to say it, is I like the Cowboys draft.
The Cowboys draft is good, and the Raiders draft was actually really good. Yeah. They moved up to block the Cowboys from getting Connor Cook, who I said I wanted to see the Niners take. They did that. Ezekiel Elliott's going to be an amazing running back for them.
Yeah.
Except he can't fucking dress himself ever again.
Oh, God, no. God, no.
That crop top. He was a cheerleader for the longest yard.
Yeah.
And did you see what came out this morning? Some random chick Snapchatted him asleep in her bed the night of the draft. He apparently hooked up with like 6 chicks that night.
Good for him.
He's 20. He's like, fuck
Good for him.
Whatever. I'm doing whatever I want to do.
I'm a millionaire.
The other team that didn't do so well was the Philadelphia Eagles. They took Carson Wentz, who was he got introduced in Philly the next day. Got booed off the stage by Philly fans.
Oh shit!
Welcome to Philly.
Welcome to Philly.
There's that. Obviously, Sam Bradford. Keith says him hooking up with 6 chicks makes him like it even more. The Saints were bad. USA Today is giving Dallas a D.
Really?
Yeah, it's interesting.
So there was one pick. I don't remember what it was. I think it was a wideout that had knee surgery. The Cowboys picked.
I'm not sure.
Anyway, it turns out that the Cowboys surgeons did the knee surgery on the kid.
Oh yeah. They ended up taking him. Yeah,
and they underreported.
the severity of it.
And then ended up taking him.
That's great. So Laramie Tunsil,
dumb shit.
This poor kid. I feel bad for this kid.
Well, yeah, to a point.
So he was on some people's board at number 1, aside from quarterbacks, obviously. And maybe a half an hour before he
10 minutes. 10 minutes.
This article says less
10
than
minutes before the draft started.
12 minutes. I'm sorry. 12 minutes. It was less than half an hour after the Mississippi tackle had been drafted by number 13, 2 hours after.
So apparently, I think what I heard is the story came out 10 minutes before the draft started.
10 minutes beforehand, his Twitter account goes off. Boom. Tweet from Laramie Tunsil. Him smoking out of a gas mask bong. Huge rip. Mask comes off of them. You see it Sam clear as day. Then, about 20 minutes after that, as he's sliding down the board, just sliding. 20 minutes after that, screenshots of a conversation between him and a coach that showed his coach paying bills for him, which he later admitted to, which I give him credit for being honest.
Yeah, that's true.
He ended up falling to Miami at 13, cost him a ton of money. The next day they have his introductory press conference. He doesn't show up. He's battling a food allergy or something they called it. Screenshots were after he got drafted. Okay, so the screenshots came out after he got drafted, which he admitted to, like I said, which give him credit for that. And then fucking Goodell comes out. Oh, it's things like this with Laramie Tunsil that makes NFL draft night exciting. Like, you fucker, you're just chomping at the bit to go fucking suspend this kid. Don't even fucking...
He said he wasn't going to suspend him, that it was college's problem and not his.
Yeah, well, what are you going to do? I just think... There's reports that it could have been one of his former advisors. You also heard that it could have been his stepdad.
Yeah, his stepdad and him don't get along. Apparently, there's a civil lawsuit for some domestic violence issues. Apparently, the stepdad was going after his mom, and if that's the case, I don't blame Tunsil at all for going after the stepdad. But apparently, he beat the shit out of his stepdad.
You're Are you kidding me? Don't say what it is, but is it revolve around football or is it just sports in general? Or?
Sports in general.
Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and do mine right now because
mine might stir up a little conversation.
Okay, cool.
Are you kidding me?
You kidding me? You kidding me, right?
Are you kidding me?
You kidding me? You kidding me?
Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
You kidding me? Are you kidding me?
Are you kidding me?
All right, so my version of Are You Kidding Me comes... We just talked about number 13, Laramie Tunsil being drafted by the Miami Dolphins. Starts with a D, that's where I got the Detroit from. Number 16, or the 15th overall pick, Baylor wide receiver Corey Coleman gets drafted by the Cleveland Browns.
That's his punishment right there.
So I'm just going to read you this because it was reported by Adam Schefter and it was filed to ESPN. Tunsil and Sue will make Miami a horrible image for the NFL. They, along with Riley Cooper, should be banned from the NFL for good.
Hi, this is Mike Barnbaum.
No, Mike. Anyways, let me go ahead and read this. Keep an eye on the Mixler clock. We have around 11 minutes left before we have to reset Mixler.
Hi, this is Mike Barnbaum.
Mike's fired up tonight.
Mike's on it. All right. The Browns selected Baylor wide receiver Corey Coleman with the 15th pick in the NFL draft on Thursday. The Browns began the night with the 8th pick, but traded down and took Coleman, who was the first wide receiver taken in the first round. Coleman is a 5'11", 194 pounds of speed, but he's more than quick feet. He won the Biletnikoff Award last season for the nation's best wide receiver. But all this was cut short when an email came into Steelers front office from Corey Coleman's personal Gmail account. The email, which has not been released to the public yet, states that Corey Coleman was really hoping the Steelers would have traded up to get him, and if there was any way they could trade for him prior to the season starting. He also said that he knew losing Martavis Bryant would be tough on the team and that he, Coleman, could help fill the void. The email went on to state that Coleman was extremely upset and doesn't want to waste his career while playing in Cleveland. Coleman has publicly stated that before that Antonio Brown is his idol on the field. This would make sense why he wants to go there so bad. The NFL has yet to comment.
So that goes in the book of 10 ways to ingratiate your way to your new team and their fans.
Well, here's the thing. He's right.
Well, yeah, but
he doesn't want to waste his career, but How about you have a friend send an email? Hey, can you guys...
Or your agent.
Yeah, like, don't beg with your personal Gmail account. Like, if it were me, I'd be like, damn, I don't want to work where I work anymore. Hey, Greg, do me a favor. Send an email to so-and-so and just say, hey, you know what? He really likes you guys. Can you think about maybe trading for him?
These guys paid thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars to agents to do just this.
Exactly.
You just don't do it.
Pretty bad at all. Or Indeed, I should say. Did he use his personal email account for professional business? You know what we call that? He pulled a Hillary.
Really?
Hi, this is Mike Barnbaum.
Don't waste your good years with those barbarians and morons over there in Loserland. From Keith. Come to a real franchise. Jason Courier says, a la Eli Manning. Yeah, but Manning let his agent do it.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Do you want to do your Are You Kidding Me right now?
You want to reset first?
Is it going to be a long one?
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about the Niners draft first then.
Okay.
Because
we're done. Thanks very much.
I was ready to give Bulky I don't want to say a round of applause, but some applause. Started out
liked his first pick.
Started out decent. Taking
kid from Oregon.
Devon Booker. Then he takes another fucking...
Took the guard from Stanford.
Man, it just bums me out. Motherfucker, listen. You need a quarter... DeForest Buckner. Not Devon Buckner. Yeah. DeForest Buckner, who... playing him next to Eric Armstead's going to be great. Those two play off each other well. Good pick. But 142nd pick. TJ and I were talking about this on Facebook. We were messaging back and forth. He had a chance to get Dax Prescott. Quarterback. Would have been a great fit in Kelly's system. What does he do? Takes a fucking defensive back. Then...
Was that the Prince dude?
Yeah, I believe so.
Didn't we draft a Prince or King or
something along
like
those
that
lines
last year?
So then I'm looking at the thing and I'm like, TJ, he could still go now and get me a running back to back up Carlos Hyde. Hyde just had surgery in the offseason. We have like two other guys that no one fucking knows about. Reggie Bush isn't coming back. We need a backup running back. Devontae Booker's on the board. He's the best available running back on the board. What do? Offensive lineman from Appalachian State. And I'm listening to this fucking thing, right? And every one of the analyst guys is like, well, he's a big guy. He's 6'7", 300 blah, blah, blah pounds. But he's soft. He's weak. He doesn't do good on the interior. Blah, 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 blah. So basically it was just a fill gap for no reason for a practice squad. What happens? Next pick. Boom. Devontae Booker, Denver. I'm like, you gotta be fucking kidding me right now, Balky. You have needs. Why are you just throwing a dart at the board and picking whatever comes up?
I don't know, man. I don't know what he's doing.
They ended up taking Jeff Triscoll out of Louisiana Tech. He transferred from Florida. I really like that. I was looking through some mock drafts and some best availables, and there was actually some people that had Driscoll as high as 3. One guy had him as high as number 2 on his quarterbacks board. He's a very low, under-the-radar quarterback. He can surprise some people. In a sense, he can sneak up on the league, kind of like Kaepernick did, but in a more quarterback way, not a runner. He's very good in the pocket.
I see him as a Blaine Gabbert. I mean, I think he's the same quarterback.
But I think he has a much higher upside than Gabbert does.
I don't know.
But it's like, dude, you gotta be fucking kidding me. I was so pissed. Immediately I tweeted Jed York. And I said, Jed, your next firing needs to be bulky. Like, this is ridiculous. And people, all over Facebook agreed. All over Twitter. I put out a poll before the draft. I said, okay, Niner fans, the Niners have the 7th overall pick. What do you think they're going to do? Draft at 7, trade back, trade up, fuck up the draft. 80% of the votes came back as fuck up the draft.
It just amazes me. It just amazes me that...
Keith Jogadonnis, most romantic line I'll ever use. I love you the way Greg Bull loves Trip Bulky. That's a way to break up with a chick.
Yeah.
Like, you know what? I really think this isn't going to work. The best way I can sum up my love for you is Greg Bull's love for Trent Baalke. And then just leave.
Yeah.
Just drop the mic or the phone or whatever you're doing. Hang it up real quick by pressing the button real hard. and just bounce.
Keith, out.
Yeah. Joe Ganatis, out. We're going to come back. We're going to talk a little bit more about, or we're going to do Greg's Are You Kidding Me? And then we're going to do our top 5 favorite sports movies. Woohoo. Actually, we're not going to go to commercial, though. We're just going to reset Mixler. So,
okay.
The way you fuck up the draft is by draft.
Hi, this is Mike Barnbaum.
Mike, I love you, man, but Jesus criminy. All right, we'll be right back. Like 2 seconds. Don't even leave.
What'd he say?
The way you fuck up the draft is by drafting a fucking punter.
I would have rather them draft a fucking punter.
Right?
I would have rather them draft that kicker out of Florida State that Tampa Bay mortgaged half their draft for.
You gotta be fucking kidding me right now.
What?
I have last week's fucking show audio with the Sirens interview on here.
Where is it? Where was it?
In the Mixler recordings? You sons of bitches. All right, I guess I'm going to re-upload that one next week. Anyways, let's go back to Mixler now. Oh, wait. Can I not go back while it's saving this? Press to go live. Come on. What the fuck? Hey, Dick. What the hell? No, wait. Let's just not cancel it. No, stop. And then go back. There we go. But it's there. Mother son of a... I don't know if I can save it, though. That's the problem. Anyways, we're back. Oh, Jason left. Jason's like, fuck you guys. I'm out.
Jason.
Courier out. All right, let's do this again.
Are you kidding me?
You kidding me? You kidding me, right?
Are you kidding me?
You kidding me? You kidding me? You kidding me?
Are you kidding me?
You kidding me? You kidding me?
Are you kidding me?
All right. So this one actually...
A fucking punter!
Yeah, this one actually got me a little fired up, and I'm actually going to take little advice from Barnbaum, and I'm going to clean things up a little bit.
Because come on.
This one is even too bad for my filthy mouth.
Want me to read it?
No. All right, so I don't know. I think Wednesday this broke, and it's a kind of a what, who, and why we care. What was a 4-minute video in which ESPN radio host and columnist Sarah Spain and broadcaster columnist Julie DiCaro sit face-to-face with some ordinary guys who volunteered to read tweets that the ladies got sent to them. A standard mean tweet setup, except that the sort of thing female sports writers get sent would make Jimmy Kimmel hide under his bed for a month. Sarah Spain and Julie DiCaro in a video, blah, 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 why we care. It's easy to see that the usual mean come on, Greg. Mean tweets drill and think that Twitter is equally harsh on everybody. On that sort of harassment women face online is the same kind that their male peers experience. But after about 45 seconds of this video, the tone takes a sharp turn into the real horror of being a woman who writes about sports or other male-dominated fields, or pretty much anything else on the internet. The tape and death threats start fast and furious, and they don't stop. They just get framed through references to Bill Cosby or to various ways hockey implements could be used to beat one of the women to death, or peppered liberally with the C word. The fact that the men in the video... Yeah, cookies. The fact that the men in the video are so obviously uncomfortable isn't the point, but it does highlight the fact that the things people are comfortable typing on Twitter is so far beyond what most human beings would dare say to another person's face, while DiCaro and Spain just sit there wincing, presumably the same way they do when those threats come online from someone who they can't be certain don't actually mean to do them harm. As a way to inform the audience who might not know what sort of harassment that women like Spain and DiCaro receive regularly for having the temerity to be women who talk and write about sports. The video is painful, harsh, and absolutely necessary. So the breakdown is the whole mean tweet segment of Jimmy Kimmel, which if you watch is really fucking funny.
It's funny, yeah.
It's hilarious. So they got a bunch of guys off the street and said they're going to do a mean tweets type setup. They bring the two lady sportscasters in there, and these mean tweets are... You wouldn't say this stuff to Trent Baalke. That's how mean and nasty these are.
So they're having these random guys read tweets that are sent to these two. Okay.
And the women have seen all the tweets, so the guys aren't telling them anything they don't know.
So they pre-screened them.
They pre-screened them, yeah.
Okay.
But the guys don't know that the women haven't heard them yet. And so it's stuff like, I hope you swallow a fucking hockey puck. I hope you get... One of the ladies had been raped, and it was pretty well known. She made it well known and wanted people to know about it so that there was some awareness. A couple of guys said, I hope you get raped again, and this time that they kill you. It was stuff that was so nasty and vulgar, and you got to watch this video.
I don't know if I want to.
You do. And the pain that these guys are just experiencing talking to these women. Finally, one guy goes, I just can't read this. And you hear in the background, it's mean tweets. And the guy looks like and says, no, I just can't read this to you. And so I started thinking about this. And, I think that, and I heard a show that Sarah Spain was on later on in the week. And she basically said that her first show on ESPN,
it's for me.
Okay. Her first show on ESPN, she was all worried. She'd prepared for hours and hours and hours, and the majority of the feedback she got on social media was because they didn't like her dress.
Jesus.
There was another story they said where somebody on SportsCenter or show, the guy wore the same exact suit for one entire year. Nobody said a word.
Wow.
But yet the women... So... part of it is I think the networks are putting women in a place where it trivializes them anyway. I mean, Sarah Spain knows her shit. Jamel Roberts knows her. Yeah, is that her name? On His and Hers.
She's a woman. I'm just kidding.
And there's some play-by-play women, but they put these hot-looking women on as sideline reporters, and I think the sideline reporter is the absolute dumbest thing that's ever happened to sports next to music.
Bingo or bullshit, you would take a sideline reporter job if they offered it to you.
Oh, I would, yeah, absolutely. But it doesn't add anything.
Jamel Hill.
It doesn't add anything to it. Some of these women know their stuff better than the guys do. And I really feel bad for them that they have a double standard, that they have to worry about how they look, how they act. Nobody's going to look through a peephole to see Chris Berman getting ready for his hit on SportsCenter where, I think I just threw up a little bit in my mouth. Sorry. And I really feel bad. I mean, this really put a lot of perspective in my thoughts about women in sports. And if you like sports, I really, it's a hard 4 minutes to watch, but I encourage you to watch it. I really do.
That sounds pretty crazy. TJ, you didn't know that? Anyway, sorry, off topic. That's pretty fucking ridiculous.
You need to watch it. Do
you have any of the tweets that I can read?
Huh?
You didn't put any of the tweets in your little thing?
No.
Come on.
It's on the video. I mean, it's there are a lot of, like I said, a lot of C words. You're a effing C word. I hope your dog gets murdered.
Is it a Cocker Spaniel? Because no one cares about those.
Well, I don't know.
My mom says a lot of black people in Africa. I'm just trying to break up the monotony of that. That's or not the monotony, the uncomfortableness of that.
It is. I mean, you watch that and it's yeah.
All right, let's do this.
5, 4, 2, 1.
We're going to do top 5 movies, sports movies. Now we're not saying these are the best of all time or whatever like that, but it's our top 5 sports movies. This comes to us from Mr. TJ Longacre, so I want to say thank you for that one, TJ. Greg did not like this idea, by the way.
I kind of warmed up to it after I got started on my list.
Once you start on the list, you're like, oh, this is actually kind of cool. Anyways, Greg, so I'm going to let you go first with your honorable.
Now, why don't you go first? Because I'm still numbering mine.
Yeah, but I'm trying to set this thing up, so.
All right. Okay, so my honorable mentions. Hold on one second here. Let me make this 4 and this 5. All right. So my honorable mentions, there's a couple in here, and I kind of teased this earlier where one of these movies has the absolute greatest scene in the history of sports movies. We'll get to that one in a second. So my...
Where's that pen you had?
That's right here. So my honorable mentions are kind of the usuals. Field of Dreams, definitely an honorable mention.
Didn't even make my list.
League of Their Own.
Didn't make my list.
I like that movie. One of the greatest lines in a sports movie ever. There's no crying in baseball.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah. Any Given Sunday.
Good movie.
Good movie.
Not on my list.
There's a little bit of porn in that too, by the way. Okay, and the movie you've never heard of this movie. So this movie's called Bang the Drum Slowly.
You're right. Never heard of it.
Great movie. Great baseball movie. It's about a pitcher and catcher that are Yankee players. But the greatest scene in the history of sports movies, somebody hits a home run, knocks in the winning run, bottom of the 9th inning, and they win the World Series, blah, blah, blah. There's this lady with a huge set of knockers.
Woohoo!
And the scene is her jumping up and down in slow motion.
Nice.
And I was probably 12 or 13 when I saw this movie the first time.
It's like my naked basketball.
Yeah, it's like your naked basketball. It was incredible. So if you ever get a chance, the movie's Bang the Drum Slowly. You can see it on YouTube. I think that scene's on there. Well worth watching. Just even that one scene. So those are my honorable mentions.
By the way, if you're on Facebook, we're about to go live on Facebook Live.
Oh wait, I have one more. Longest Yard too. The original Longest Yard.
See, I have the new one on my list.
No, the original with Bert.
With Bert. Let's see if we can get this to work right. Gotta wait for the thing to go away. Why is it not going to show me the whole fucking screen?
Don't just show me.
Well, that's dumb. That didn't work. Anyways, we're gonna do it anyways because it's audio at least. Well, fuck. That's dumb. Hold on. All right. Honorable mentions for me. I have Mighty Ducks. The whole Mighty Ducks series.
Are you on? Is your mic? Our mic's on?
Yeah.
Because I'm not hearing anything.
What do you mean you're not hearing anything?
Hello.
I hear you just fine.
I don't hear me at all. There we go.
There you go. All right, the whole Mighty Ducks series. Sandlot is a good movie, Jason. That did not make my list.
Mine either.
Let's see. The whole Rocky series. And the reason why I'm doing the whole series is it was really hard for me to single out any one of those movies. Therefore, that's why they didn't make my list. The Longest Yard, the new version with Adam Sandler and everything like that. Caddyshack 1, not Caddyshack 2, but Caddyshack 1 made my list.
Yeah, that didn't make mine, but it should have.
And the reason why TJ is going to be mad at me, honorable mention, ESPN's Down in the Valley. Really good sports movie.
It was awesome.
I feel bad that not everyone got to see it, but it definitely makes my honorable mention for sports movies that I've seen in my life that rank in my favorites list.
Yeah, because you're on it.
I am in it a few times, but
imagine
TJ
that.
says he'll take it. He'll take our word for it. All right, number 5, Mr. Rosa.
Number 5 is you just talked about it. Rocky 1.
Ooh, okay.
Rocky 1. I would say by far the best Rocky movie of the whole.
Whoa!
By far.
Hold on, hold on.
By far.
No fucking. Have you not seen Rocky 4?
I've seen all of them.
Rocky 4
I quit at 4 or 5.
Rocky 5 sucked balls. 6 was okay. Creed I haven't seen yet. Rocky 4 was the best. Now Rocky 1 comes in second.
No, Rocky 1 is the original. It's by far the best movie. I'd probably put Rocky 2 ahead of Rocky 4.
You're fucking high.
Is that which one is Rocky 4?
The one with Ivan Drago, the Russian. After Apollo Creed gets killed and he comes back and avenges his death.
Nah.
Rocky 3 is a good one too. Number 5 for me, Radio.
Huh?
Radio with God damn it, Cuba Gooding Jr. He plays the mentally handicapped kid who gets they bring him in so that he can be a part of the football team. He gets to be like the water boy basically. He tunes in like a little radio, like he's just like a little like multi-wave better radio. Really good movie. You should watch it. It's Cuba Gooding Jr. It's based off a true story.
Never heard it.
Really good one. Number 4.
Remember the Titans.
Great movie. Not on my list.
Great movie. Just shows I grew up in a small town. It kind of revolves around a small town football team. We were kind of the same way in our town. Not quite as into it as they were, but just a good family movie, and just I like it.
TJ says he cried twice during.
Yeah.
Number 4 for me, Space Jam. Michael Jordan, Bill Murray, Bugs Bunny, Space Jam.
Oh, good. There's so many good sports movies.
Pulls on my heart. It pulls on my strings. It was a really good movie for me as a kid, and I cringe every time I think about the idea of LeBron rebooting Space Jam 2. But Space Jam, just the way that it all tied everything in, and it was just.
Well, and it had Bugs Bunny, and Bugs Bunny's
Lola Bunny, Taz. Yeah.
Bugs Bunny is by far the greatest cartoon character of all time. So
definitely on the list.
Yep.
Space Jam number 4.
Number 3. Talk about crying. Oh shit. Brian's Song.
Never saw it.
Never saw it. It's the story of Brian Piccolo and Gale Sayers. And you've heard of Gale Sayers, right?
Yeah, the runner.
Yeah, the running back. So obviously Gale Sayers is black. Brian Piccolo is white. They were both drafted the same year and came in and became fast friends. And, this was at a time where, black guys and white guys really didn't get along too well. And then Brian Piccolo came up with cancer and went through the whole cancer phase and ended up dying. And you ask anybody that's my age, what was the first movie you cried at? It's Brian's Song.
Mine was Lion King. I just added another one to my honorable mention, 42, the Jackie Robinson story.
You know what? I never saw that.
Very good movie. You need to go watch that movie. Let's see. Number 3 on my list, Miracle.
Okay.
Kurt Russell did an amazing job playing the role of the head coach of the U.S. national team, 1980s, at the place where they played the hockey.
Lake Placid.
Thank you. It was right there, and I was like.
See, obviously, that just shows your age, because there's no way anybody in my generation will ever forget Lake Placid,
right,
where they were.
Have you seen that movie, though? Did you see
bits and pieces? Is that the Kurt Russell movie?
Yeah, Kurt Russell.
No, I haven't seen it. I've seen parts of it. I haven't seen the whole thing.
Fantastic job on that movie.
Yeah.
For someone like me who wasn't alive during that time, or I was 80.
1980.
Was not alive. I was 6 years unborn. It really painted an amazing picture of the emotion. And, I talked to like my dad about it and things like that, someone that was around for it, and he watched it, and the look on his face, it was almost like he was seeing it happen for the first time. That's how good they did this movie.
Yeah.
And even though it was based on a true story and you knew what was going to happen, you were still shocked. You're just like, damn.
Yeah. I mean, it was to play the Russians at that time, and this is before pros were allowed in the Olympics, to play the Russians, because they were all Army officers, and their job in the Army was to play hockey.
Right.
And you got a group of 20 ragtag college kids together that didn't really like each other for most of the time, and put them together. They lost to the Russians like 11-0 2 weeks before the Olympics. And so it was by far the biggest upset that I've ever seen and been a part of. And it was a bad time. The Russian Cold War was heating up. The Russians were invading Afghanistan. We were talking about boycotting the '80 Olympics, the Summer Olympics. I actually had a couple of friends that made the 80 Olympic team that didn't get to go. And so we kind of had an idea that this was the only chance we were going to have in the Olympics that year.
Right.
And just the whole game, it was on tape delay. My parents talk about, they knew where they remember where they were when JFK got shot.
Okay.
They talk about where they were when the guy landed on the moon. I know exactly where I was and what I was doing when I saw this hockey game. It left that kind of impression. It's kind of like 9/11 for you.
That's what I was going to say. It's kind of like our 9/11.
Yeah. So this was a positive thing, but it was like that, where I know exactly what I was doing. Exactly. I can almost tell you what I was wearing. That's how ingrained that idea.
It was like 2 a.m. You probably weren't wearing very much.
I was wearing my tighty whities.
Get it?
So now probably the most important sports moment that I've ever been a part of.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Where are we at?
We're on to my number 2. This is a movie I...
No, it's my number 2.
Your number 2. That's right. I did Miracle.
Bull Durham. Great baseball movie. Again, some of the coolest moments. You know, when the manager comes out and tells... what was it? Noosh LaRouche or whatever the hell the guy's name was. Breathe through your eyelids. Just breathe through your eyelids. And I've used that with my swimmers, and they just don't get it. But
they're like, "Oh, I'm gonna drown."
Nuke LaLoosh, that was his name. Just a great movie. A lot of great lines. A lot of great young actors. It was a great movie. Have you seen it?
I have seen parts of it.
You gotta see it all.
So here's my problem. I'm not a big sports movie fan.
But these movies transcend sports. These are not just sports movies.
It's a barrier that I need to break down.
Yeah.
This one, I guarantee you've never seen. My number 2. This movie is it's a baseball movie about an inner city. It's a fictional movie, but it's about inner city kids playing baseball. It stars Keanu Reeves, and it's called Hardball. And it's about this little rag toss team. Keanu Reeves he's a hell-bent gambler who owes a shitload of money to a bookie. And he gets in with a guy who's like an accountant. And he's like, "Oh, I'm going to give you the money you need, blah, blah, blah. But you got to coach this little interleague team. Or inner city team. And it's a bunch of little people. They call themselves the Cucumbas. That's the team name. And it's centered around like these 5 little inner city kids, and one of them is called G Baby, and he's like this big, and he's hella cute, and he can't play on the team because he's not old enough and whatever. And he ends up getting killed in the movie. The little kid does, because he gets shot in a drive-by.
Oh, God.
And it just circles around like just how bad it is for kids trying to do the right thing in these cities, and it pulls at like every heartstring, and it's a hell of a good movie, and it always sits atop my list when it comes to sports movies. I have it if you want to borrow it and watch it. It'll get you. It's a good movie.
Oh, cool. Yeah. All right, my number 1. After all of that, depth of moviness and seriousness, my favorite sports movie of all time, Major League. Major League 1.
That almost made my list.
Major League, just a lot of great actors. The president from 24 is on there.
Get down. Oh,
Jobu. Jobu like you. It's funny. It's exciting. It's just a good movie. So that's my favorite sports movie of all time.
Nice. My number 1 came in, and I think it's just another great depiction of a story, not necessarily the sport, but the story. And that's Moneyball. I can watch Moneyball every single time it's on TV.
I have never seen that movie.
Even if you know the history of Moneyball and you know the dynamic of it, you watching it, Jonah Smith, and it's not Jonah Smith, is it?
Yeah, it's Jonah Smith and
Brad Pitt. You really need to. It's a great movie. Like I really like it. You should definitely check it out. But that one always for me hits at home. I like I said, every time it's on TV, I can watch it. It's pretty cool. That's my number 1.
Cool.
But yeah, you should definitely check out Hardball. I will try to find it before you leave. I mean, it is one of those movies where you're just like, you kind of feel attached to those little kids. You're like, damn, I'm kind of rooting for these kids.
I don't think I have a DVD player right now, so hold on to it.
One of the kids is like the pitcher, and he wears headphones while he's pitching. It gets him in the groove. He listens to Call Me Big Papa by Notorious B.I.G. and he gets into it, and one of the other coaches gets hella pissed because this kid's just fucking mowing them down, right? So he complains about the headphones because it's a safety hazard, and then he just unravels on the mound, and Keanu Reeves is sitting there, and they're like, he needs his music. And all of a sudden, Keanu Reeves, as wide as they come in this little hood-ass area, is like, I love it when they call me Big Papa. And like they get going in the dugout and stuff. It's a fantastic movie, dude. I love it. It's so awesome. When we come back, we're going to talk about the NBA playoffs and the Sacramento Kings coaching search.
Oh, God.
Yeah, pretty much. And there's a delay. Miles, yeah, Keith saw the movie. What's up, everybody? Greg Bull here. As you know, I've been trying to lose some weight lately, stay in the gym, get an active lifestyle, and do my best in all of our obstacle course races that I encounter. And I wanted to give you guys a little bit of a secret behind my progression, and that is the equipment that I wear. Whether it be forearm sleeves, shirts, tanks, gloves, whatever the case may be, I go to one company and one company only. That's the Original Warrior Pack. They have all of the essentials for anyone who's looking to run an obstacle course race or who just wants to go to the gym and have a little bit of a boost. Whether you're the novice or the expert, they have something for you. From gloves, arm pads, knee pads, shirts, socks, and even for the brand new racer, they have a essential startup kit that includes fuel foods and socks and gloves and everything you'll need to make sure that you are ready to encounter what's coming up next. That company, as I mentioned, is theoriginalwarriorpack.com. That's P-A-K. Kelly and Tracy are based right here out of Northern California, and their company is awesome. They're your one-stop shop for all OCR needs. So go ahead, check them out, www.theoriginalwarriorpack, again, that's with the K.com, or go right to our website, www.sportstalk916.com, click on our sponsors page, you'll see their bright green logo, click on it, and you're one more step closer to achieving that ultimate finish. All right, NBA playoffs. Let's do this.
Hey, this is Scott Fresh, the MC for the world's loudest arena. And now, back to Sports Talk 916.
That's right, Fresh. NBA playoffs. The second round is not much more exciting than the first.
It has been, has it?
Unbelievable.
I think the
right
East is going to be a little bit better. But we knew this going in. We knew that the Western Conference Finals were going to be the first really...
Something, just both of us. Why did our phones just go fucking nuts? Anyways,
we knew that the Western Conference was going to come down to Golden State and San Antonio. That's going to be I'm excited to watch every game.
I cannot
of that.
wait for that series.
The other two, the series getting up to Portland's going to go in 4 or 5.
Jonah Hill. Did I say Jonah Smith?
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever.
And I agreed with you. Whatever.
Yeah, shows how great we are at this.
And who's San Antonio playing?
Oklahoma City Thunder. The Seattle Thunder.
They're going to go back. It's going to be over quick. And I think it'll give each team a little chance to rest. Give Curry a chance to get that knee right. It's going to be fun.
They're saying that Curry could play Game 3.
Right.
And I was talking to a buddy of mine who works at the gym who's a huge Warriors fan. And he basically said exactly what I'm about to say. And, we agreed on it. It's got to be just like round 1. If you win Game 2, even if you lose Game 2 and go into Game 3, you don't play Curry. If you lose 2 games in the series, then you consider playing Curry. But until you lose 2 games against a team, don't risk him playing. You need him for later rounds.
Yeah, but, the knee injury was a fluke. that had nothing to do with the ankle.
Right.
And there's a lot of people saying, if he's ready to go, let him play. He needs to get a couple games under his belt before the San Antonio series. Speak clearly. He needs to get a couple games under his belt before San Antonio. He can't he can't come and try to expect to play Steph Curry like basketball if he hasn't played before they match up with San Antonio.
That's true. I mean, but I don't know. I think that you don't play him at least until Game 4, regardless of how Game 2 and 3
But if he's
goes.
ready to go and he's healthy and he gets the clearance from the doctors, why not?
Yeah, we can see it either way.
Yeah.
The other series right now is Miami just finished off Charlotte in laughable fashion today.
Yeah.
So that's going to be the Toronto series, Miami and Toronto.
Okay, that would be a pretty good series.
And Cleveland will be hosting Atlanta.
Yeah.
I don't know what idiot on the planet would have taken Boston to make it out of the East.
What two idiots?
No one did. I mean, clearly it wasn't us.
God,
I mean,
no.
We're way smarter than that.
Go Cavs, go.
Honestly, I think the Heat are going to be a pretty formidable
Does it really
match.
matter, though? Does it really
No,
matter?
because it's going to be ultimately who loses to the Warriors or Spurs.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, and finals are going to be dreadfully boring.
Possibly. Yeah, it's going to be pretty bad. But, it's the NBA. Who knows? There was all this talk about the Clippers were going to have an easy path to run through the Warriors, and then Chris Paul breaks his hand, and then Griffin's hamstring flares up again, or groin flares up again. He's gone.
But I don't know how many people I heard say, well, now that Curry's gone, the Warriors are done. And Portland's going to, first they were going to lose a couple of games in the first round, and they didn't. And then all of a sudden now, Thompson's decided he wants to be Steph Curry Jr. and hitting for easy 37 every night.
Insane.
Yeah. So
Jason just tried to tell you guys both. He's a Boston fan, and he didn't have any faith in the Celtics. He just didn't think they ever matched up with Atlanta, and it turned out that they didn't.
Yeah, well, we suck.
Yeah, we're terrible. You didn't listen to our show when we did our NFL picks every week. They weren't good.
No. But I did win.
You did win by what, 2 games? I think it was. So
I dominated you.
You were 2 games better.
Dominated
than
you.
So there's the playoffs. Sacramento Kings are still searching for a head coach. Kevin McHale's name was a top favorite. He basically said, "Nope, not happening. Don't even want to interview. I don't like California." Then a couple other names came out today or yesterday. It was announced that Patrick Ewing will be interviewing, and Kings fans are going fucking apeshit over that. Oh, it's Patrick Ewing. He was a great center. Blah, 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 blah. We forgot to do bingo or bullshit, by the way. And because that was one of my questions about bingo or bullshit. And they're going fucking nuts. And then today it got announced that David Blatt, the former coach of the Cavaliers, is going to come in and interview.
How did he do with a superstar?
The dumpster fire is continuing.
How did he do with
bigger.
a superstar?
Unbelievable.
Patrick Ewing, again, great player. Great players don't always make great coaches. See Magic Johnson. There's a reason why Patrick Ewing has been coaching for as long as he has and hasn't gotten a job. It's kind of like Rick Barry. Rick Barry is politicking for every time the Warriors' job is open, and he's not going to get it. So, there's a reason why Patrick Ewing... I don't know. I think they need to. I still think Mark Jackson is a guy.
Nope.
There's
Shaka Smart.
He's not going to leave.
Shaka.
Why would he leave?
He won't. But
why would he leave a place where he's going to win to come to Sacramento?
You know what? Fuck it. Keith Jogonatis, get ready, buddy. This is coming for you. Get ready to clap, cheer. Get on Snapchat. I want to see your reaction to this. Let me know when you're on it, because this is going to be something I want you to react to the world. I'm gonna start tooting a different horn. Ready for it? Let's see. What music do I want behind me on this one?
Oh no!
That's not it.
We suck again.
That's not the music I want.
But I think it was a Freudian slip.
No, I did that on purpose. But yeah. Keith, are you on Snapchat yet? Let's do this. It is time. No, you know what? No. What if I told you that I'm ready to change my stance on the Sacramento Kings coaching search?
Scares me.
Vivek Ranadive, if you're listening. Chris Granger, hand him your phone if you're listening. It is time. The Golden One Center is about to open. DeMarcus Cousins is the golden child, the savior of the Sacramento Kings. And the only player that we're going to ever win 34 games with, Vivek, Vlade's wife, whoever else holds the keys to the decision-making box. Open your checkbook. Get on the phone.
I know where you're going.
It is time to call John Calipari.
Oh! Why waste the dime on the phone call?
$200 million.
He's not going to come out here.
$200 million.
His team is better than our team. Why would he come out here?
$200 million. 20% ownership of the team. Vlade gets to wash his jockstrap. Make DeMarcus happy, please. That's the only way. That's the only way this team is going to win any basketball games. Make DeMarcus Cousins happy. Bring in anyone that he wants. Any player, any staff. I don't care if the ball boy needs to be DeMarcus' son. Make him happy so that the Kings can win a game.
Ladies and gentlemen, you are now listening to the final episode of the Greg and Greg Sports Talk 916 show. Greg Bowl will hereby be committed to the Napa State Institution for the Criminally Insane, and this show will not be going on any further. Thank you very much for listening. What the fuck are you talking about?
Dude, there's no other explanation. They're waiting to make DeMarcus happy. Who the fuck would want to hire Blatt or goddamn Ewing?
Nobody.
Exactly, except for the fucking Kings.
What's wrong with Mark Jackson?
He's a hater. He hates the Kings. He hates DeMarcus.
DeMarcus isn't going to be here.
Who the fuck's going to want DeMarcus?
Wow, you just sat there and you're not the person I knew you were anymore. I think we might be on a break.
Dude, we're stuck.
God.
It's getting so bad right now. Like,
did that football game take a lot out of you last night?
The Kings are the Sirens of the NBA. No, I'm just kidding. I think the Sirens have a better chance of a winning season than the Kings do.
Yeah, I agree.
Man, I'm losing faith. Every name that gets brought up, I'm losing fucking faith. The only name that I like so far that got brought up is Elston Turner.
I hate that name. Hate that name.
Whatever.
I mean, I like Elston Turner. He's a great guy, but no. And to be honest with you, I don't know who's the right fit. Seems like they're interviewing every single person that's ever coached a basketball game.
I haven't got a call yet.
You haven't coached a basketball game?
I coached a little kids game once.
Are you going to be all grumpy now?
It is now time for bingo.
You sure?
Was that a bingo?
Bingo! A bingo!
Bingo!
I've got a bingo!
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 Or bullshit. Bingo or bullshit time,
Bingo or
Mr.
bullshit.
Rosa. Bingo or bullshit. With Peavy and Kane struggling, the Giants should consider Lincecum as the starter as his upcoming showcase is set for Friday.
I heard they're going to be there. 20 teams. Shit, what do you have to lose? Bingo.
Bingo!
I mean, you got nothing to lose. Yeah, I mean, he can't be any worse than what our 4 and 5 are doing right now. So,
and it'll make fans happy.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Yep.
Oh, I don't have any prepared. I got to think of these. Give me one more, and then I'll give you a couple.
Bingo or bullshit. Vlade is making a mistake announcing flashy big-name coaching candidates to excite the fans.
Bingo.
Just hit the button. Where the fuck is it?
Bingo!
Yeah, I mean, this doesn't need to be done in public. We don't need to know everybody that's traipsing in and out. Just make the fucking hire.
Exactly. Going.
All right, bingo or bullshit. Trent Baalke set a precedent last year by drafting a fucking punter. Bingo and...
A fucking punter!
So, and that was carried out because there were 3 punters and a long snapper drafted this year. So
I was joking with TJ that the Niners were going to take a long snapper in the 5th round.
So, bingo or bullshit, Trent Baalke set a precedent by drafting a punter.
Trent Baalke is just a fucking idiot, and no one would want to fucking follow in his footsteps. Oh, and by the way, I'm in this 49ers elite fan group on Facebook. Motherfuckers were defending the 5th round. Oh, what round would you take Andy Lee if you weren't going to take Bradley Pinion? I love every move that Baalke's made. I was like, look, Baalke's a fucking blind squirrel in a dark room. All right? Eventually, he's going to fucking run into a nut. Oh, fucking stupid. I swear to fucking God, I hate. You know the Niners scored 14.9 points per game last year? 14.9. God damn it. I fucking know. Stupid. Baalke was primed to have a good draft, but in later rounds, he should be on. After his later round draft picks, he should be on the hot seat. Bingo or bullshit?
Bullshit? No.
Bingo.
So usually they say it's 3 years before you know a draft is good or bad. And that usually makes a lot of sense. But I can tell you, last year's draft sucked. The year before's draft sucked.
I'm going to give a little bit of a thing. Jaquiski Tart looks like he's going to be a good player. I don't know.
But not for a first rounder.
That would have taken him in the first round.
He's not a first rounder. He's a good third round. If you get Jaquiski Tart or whatever the hell you say his name, you get him in the 3rd round, I'm fine with that. You're not going to blow a first round pick on him, though.
Bingo. Oh, my God.
I
got one more. Bingo or
Go for
bullshit.
it.
Luke Walton is going to regret taking the head coaching job in the LA Lakers.
Oh, bingo.
Nope, that's not it. God, what the?
Bingo.
Yeah, that's a train wreck. If there's one place that I dare to say might be a bigger train wreck than Sacramento, in fact, I'm going to throw that in as bingo or bullshit.
Okay.
The LA Lakers are a bigger train wreck than the Sacramento Kings.
Bullshit. First of all, their owner knows what the fuck they're doing.
No, they don't.
No, they have a better.
they
don't.
don't.
They have a better idea than the fucking Kings do. And they just
so.
freed up like $1 bajillion in cap space because Kobe's gone, and they have a better core players with Russell. I hate to even say Swaggy P's name, but Randall and the other guy they have.
I don't know. I got one more if you don't.
Go for it.
Bingo or bullshit. Rudy Gay won't be a part of the Sacramento Kings next year.
Bingo.
Yeah. Did you read any of that article that came out that Eileen
Voice on?
Yeah.
My buddy that we were hanging out?
Yeah.
That's coming up in Afterthoughts.
Oh. Did you see that article the interview she did with George Karl?
I did.
And that was one of the things he said was Rudy Gay and DeMarcus Cousins can't play together. Shocker.
Yeah, no shit. They hate each other.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if I should use the word hate, but they don't like each other.
No, I can't blame Rudy Gay for it.
Oh hell no. Let's do this. Let's do Afterthoughts. The Golden One Center is set to make a big announcement tomorrow. There's a lot of speculation going around on Twitter right now. If you look, there's been some tweets about, or actually, if you go on Twitter and you look at Sir Paul McCartney's name, he has a tweet that just says October. If you look it up, according to the LA Times, he will be in LA on October 8th. One might speculate, and this is all just speculation because I have no clue, but one may speculate that October 1st through the 7th would be a good time to be in Sacramento, and before heading down to LA, we could see...
I've seen McCartney in person. He was fucking incredible.
Can you imagine him in the new Golden One with all the right sound?
Oh, God.
That'll be a good one. I had the Niners as 14.9 points per game on my list. That's fucking ridiculous. And I have more reason why Take Me Out to the Ball Game needs to go away. You all know the name Warren G, right? He's the G child. Regulator. Rest in peace, Nate Dogg. He was at Wrigley Field a couple days ago.
Wrigley Stadium?
Wrigley Stadium, sure, whatever. And he did Take Me Out to the Ball Game in honor of the late Harry Carey, who's now rolling over in his grave trying to regulate his way out of there. Let's see if we can listen to this. I haven't heard this audio. Actually, let's do this one. It looks like it'll be less loud.
Hey, what is going on, guys? This is Dasher, and I'm here with views on news sports. And this video you're watching today is a quick. by Warren G at the Cubs game today.
Here we go. They're clapping because he's done.
Yeah, oh, absolutely.
More importantly, I'm going to turn this all the way down because we don't need to hear it again. But watch this, dude. I think this lady was here when. First of all, he's reading off of a script and he said it wrong. But look at her. She's like, "No, I'm done. No, go away. No." She's like 90. She's like, "That's bad."
Well, when you fuck up the second word of the song, you know that it's
Take me out. What do you say? Take me out.
Take me to the ball game.
Take me to the ball. Take me to the ball game. Like, you fucking dipshit. Stick to bad rap.
Well, it just goes to show you that without auto-tune, none of these guys can do anything. Have you heard Dicka's version?
No.
Have you heard? That's pretty bad. Have you heard Jeff Gordon's version?
Oh no!
Jeff Gordon says, "Thank you, Wrigley Stadium." Before he starts. Who else was bad? Ozzy. Have you seen Ozzy's version?
Well, anything Ozzy does is bad.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember who else. There's a couple other bad ones. Mike Dicka's might be the worst.
Let's just find it real quick for lack of better reason. Let's see here.
It might be the fastest version of all time.
Really?
Oh yeah, it's hilarious. And that's half the fun with Take Me Out to the Ball Game is such bad ones.
Well, Mike Ditka's in the building, but we're going to have to take over unless he gets here very quickly.
You get to get to the box in time?
Believe me, folks, we booed too. Okay, you ready? Here he comes. Hold on. Hold on.
Obviously, they're in Chicago, so they love him.
And this is Dicka. No, Dicka can do no wrong.
And as we speak, Mike Ditka has made it.
And this is young Mike Ditka, too.
As happy as all of you.
Oh, 1998.
Yeah.
Mr. Ditka, please.
It's fucking hilarious.
And a 2 and a 3. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out with the crowd. All these happy nuts like Rancher Jackson. I don't care if I ever get back. I will roll up for the whole team. If they don't win, it's a shame. 1, 2, 3 strikes you're out at the old ball game.
Wow, that was the fastest rendition I've ever heard of that. Wow, that's terrible. On that, you know what? On that note, this was season 4, episode 11. For Greg, I'm Greg. Until next week, folks, we will see you guys later.
Night, Larry.
Wow, that was bad.